Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rakha, Chodash.
Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to sincere Ak. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. First of all, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Chakodash, and double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutation to all sincere Achim. They're out there, of course, teaching this Amath, which is the truth of the Bible in sincerity. Of course, Shalom La Akwathium, the sincere sisters that are listening and learning and being within order. Of course, keeping quiet at home, to their husbands if they have them, or just listening along. All right. Of course, double honors to those apostles at Great Millstone. All right. Peace and salutation. All right, to the elect. I'm the brother Mappa, Great Millstone Plain Tables Camp, located here in the city of Philadelphia in Babylon the Great. All right. Daughter of Babylon, which is America, all right, which is currently in a bloody shambles, all right. Disclaimer, we are the Hebrew Israelites. We're not connected with any Hebrew Israelite group. Us at Great Millstone, all right, we are the Hebrew Israelites according to the relics that has been written within the scriptures, the prophecies that has been written in the scriptures. All right, the testimony of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, our power. Okay, so I have here this article. I have actually the article which I kind of access it because I don't have a subscription, so I'm going to play it off of the reading by Lisa Cabrera on her YouTube, when she covered it. And of course I'm going to add the scriptures. I have another article here which it reads, these are the states most affected by the government shutdown study finds, and this was published way back, was this January the 3rd. It's currently January the 13th, year of Charagma, which this year, Lord willing, we will see Esau Edom push the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip, also known as the NFC chip in the Europe and such, right? Pushing forth, its New World Order, which Esau Edom is the so-called white people, all right, or Caucasians, okay, here, and they're elite of them, okay, the banking families, Rothschild, Rockefellers, DuPonts, and many other major banking families. They want to chip the whole inhabitants of the earth, in which the earth is given on the hand of the wicked, in which the wicked are bearing rule, and where the wicked bear rule, the people they they mourn and such, are sorrow, in a pitiful case and such, in which you're seeing that, okay. And when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, in which, we know that the Israelites, they are the righteous, and of the elect, they are the future, all right, the governing body of this entire world, okay. They will be governing over, all right, the nation of Israel and the kingdom that is to come, all right. But this kingdom, of course, starts within us, all right. So we're just going to go into it. So it says these are the states most affected by the government shutdown study finds. And then I'm just going to get this one other article, link it with, it says cities and states with the most federal workers affected with shutdown. All right. Which currently you have it. This is the longest on record. all right, ever before here in America, which is Great Babylon, all right, which is in the scriptures. So I'm just gonna read, or I'm gonna play Lisa Gabriel, hit some scriptures, and get out.
The partial government shutdown has matched the longest on record of hundreds of thousands of federal workers have started to miss paychecks. Yes, because as of Friday, they missed their first paycheck, and it's going to be more to come. A look at where federal workers are based and how their salaries measure up to average salaries in those regions helps draw a picture of the potential impact on local economies. Now, my son just informed me that one of his friends' mother is a federal worker and she's on furlough. So
right, so you have, of course, this current government shutdown will affect, everyone. All right, it's affecting the economy of Great Babylon, America. Okay, because you have the people, since they're not pumping the money into these shops, these various stores. All right, that is going to be detrimental to this kingdom. All right, which this kingdom, all right, is falling. Okay, the markets, okay, in a volatile state and such. Okay, one time is up and the other time is down. All right, and of course these are all manipulated via algorithms and ultimately by the elite, or ultimately by the Most High, Yahweh, by Shem Yahushai. And you have the elite because they want to crash this system and bring forth their new world order. I'm gonna start here with the book of Job, Ayawab, which means persecuted, chapter 20, and this is going to be chapter verse 5, and it says, our start at 4. It says, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Right, so you have it here that the rulership of the Edomites is short. All right, you have it where they've ruled as what, the Greeks, the Romans. Okay, then of course we conquered them, and driven them forth into the Caucasus Mountains and such. All right, in which we ruled in the Dark Ages. All right, and then of course they came back out, out the Caucasus Mountains, and of course came into pressing us. All right, and of course they go into the rebirth. Okay, which that of course goes into the rebirth of the Roman Empire, this system. All right, which I'm gonna get into really quick. Right, I mean, I can start here at Revelation 13:1. It says, and I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw the beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And it says, and upon his horn 10 crowns, and upon his head the name of blasphemy. All right. It says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard. Right, I believe that goes into the Greeks. And his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power. All right, it's Roman Empire, and his seat a great authority. And it says here, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all of the world wondered after the beast. Okay, and you have it where when you go into it, these 7 heads and 10 horns and such, that goes, you know, you go into the beast, is NATO and the EU and such. All right, you have to understand that. Okay. Now going back to Revelation 17 and 1, and it reads, and there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come thither, or hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Right, which that great whore is America. All right, obviously the waters, as it goes into the waters. Okay, this is Revelation 17 and 15, and it says here that, and he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. All right, because you know, you have to know that America, all right, it is the leader, all right, of everything. When you go into it, of the NATO and the EU and such, they call us the shots and such. All the other nations are underneath them and such. All right. So going back into verse 17 and 2, it says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Which that, of course, you know, that wine and such of a fornication. All right, you know, that's all of the whole philosophies. All right, the wine of the so-called white man. All right, you know, which you go into, you know, the whole the image of the beast and such. Okay, you know, the democracy, you know, the murder, the lies, you know, the homosexuality. All right, you know, you have to go into that, you know, but I don't want to get too deep into this in this lesson. Just want to cover just the bits. All right, now going into it, this is Job 20 back in 5. It says that the triumph of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. And it says, though his excellently mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung, which is shite, or shit, as they would say. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? And he shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as the vision of the night. Right? Of course, the so-called white man who's Esau Edom is going to serve slavery for 1,000 years. All right, and then be burnt up. All right, in a pit. All right. So you read that in the book of Obadiah. All right. So going back, you know, to this article, they have the cities hit hardest by the government shutdown. All right, so you know, don't want to make this too long, so I want to just get the right bits and such. So you know, I may just try to just name off the states and such. And what you have it, the states which are hardest hit by the government shutdown, you have it Washington, D.C., New York, and let me see what else I can see from this visually. All right, because I'm doing this about, you know, just trying to rip this.
Of the federal civilian GDP. All right, so GDP produced by federal civilian government. So you can see the areas right here. All right, so it's showing you The places that are in yellow have above 2.5% federal civilian workers. The dark blue, 2% to 2.5%. And then you see the blue, which is 1.1 to 1.9%. And then the pale blue, which is less than 1%. So you can see this map right here. Wow. Elsewhere, the impact on cities with large numbers of federal employees is uneven. Some of the biggest employers of federal civilian workers across the country are military installations. Because the Defense Department is fully funded, these workers aren't subject to the shutdown. So look like those military installation, those employees are getting paid. This includes cities such as California, Maryland, and Warner, Georgia, where large military bases account for about 17% of the jobs in each area. In other cities, major local employers are shut down. In Huntsville, Alabama, the National Aeronautics and the Space Administration and the U.S. Army are the two largest employers, according to Economic Development Partnership of Alabama, while the Army continues to pay all of its staff. 95% of NASA employees are currently on furlough or unpaid leave. In Chicago, the Chicago Federal Executive Board is the largest employer in nearly 50,000 employees affected by the shutdown. The Treasury Department is a major employer in both the Philadelphia and Kansas City metro regions. It isn't just cities that are affected. Several rural states are among those with the highest percentage of their workforce employed by federal agencies that have shut down, according to data from Moody's Analytics.
Yeah, as you see it, you have most of these people in these federal positions, been getting these checks and such, over the years and such. All right, when things are operating, at a good, all right, good, in a good case or such. Now, of course, they're being hit severely, being furloughed, all right, laid off, all right, working with the pay, all right, and that, of course, is leading towards a lot of these workers hitting the street in protest, all right. Of course, they're seeking forth, answers from their government, which their leader being Trump, which is nothing but a puppet leader. He's saying, I got to get this funding for the wall and such. All right, the 5.7 billion. Okay, but it's leaving use. All right, because it's just a fight between these Edomites, Egypt against Egypt. All right, being you have a host that is divided amongst itself cannot stand. All right, where you have the Democrats and the Republicans. All right, and you have the president. Okay, and they of course can't all come to a deal. All right, to fund this government, in which now this shutdown is continuing. The longest ever. And it's affecting you workers, mainly you Israelites, okay? So-called Negro, Latino, Native American, also you Edomites, also you rest of you heathen nation, all right? Those that you have these federal jobs and such. And it's going to get worse, all right? And it's lucky I couldn't go and get the actual information, which I wanted specifically, but I believe it is sufficient. Through the spirit, I clicked on, this particular timestamp in it. It basically covered the data which I want to, mention in this video. All right. But you have to know that this place is going down. All right. This is going to be the book of book of Isaiah 47. All right. And I'm going to go down to verse 9. And it reads here that I'm gonna start at verse 47, and it's or verse 7, Slakia. And this is of course addressed to that virgin daughter of Babylon, which is America. All right, going down right to verse 7. And thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever. Right, and you know, all right, that this is speaking about, all right, great Babylon, all right, that whore, all right, that sitteth upon, the waters, all right, roughly paraphrase. So that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Because these damn Edomites thinking their generation shall continue forever. Going on. Therefore, hear know this: though thou art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. Right, in which this place, of course, being Great Babylon and such, they haven't been touched. That's why they're referred to as a virgin daughter of Babylon. All right, going on, and they set themselves up as being gods and such. All right, these Edomite elites and such. All right, so-called illuminated ones. All right, reading on verse 9, it says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. All right, there's going to be a loss of many of you children. You're going to die via famine. You're going to die via not being able to receive the benefits from these various programs, because they're going to be cut off. All right, in February you have it, at this point, by the end of January, that is, you have it where the funding for the various WIC and the SNAP are running out. All right, and they need to pass a bill. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to hand out those credits on the cards. All right, to fund your eating. All right, your belly. And it says in widowhood, a lot of yous are going to die. All right, your husband's going to die. All right, they're going to go about and rob and do all type of stealing and get put to death, get hemmed up. All right, is in widowhood. All right, there's a lot of judgment that the Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to bring forth to this place, being America, Great Babylon, and also to the rest of the places where the Israelites have been scattered. All right, this whole world, all right, that you see before you is going to see the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the power of Yahweh Yahushua hits it, all right, with that full force, okay, not of course holding back. All right, and let me see if I got another scripture. This is going to be the book of I'm gonna actually get book of Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 41 and verse 8, and it says, woe be unto you, ungodly men, which have forsaken the law of the Most High power, Most High Yahweh. For if you increase, it shall be to your destruction. All right, and this place, all right, this place being America has been increased through the blood, sweat, and tears of the so-called Negro, Latino, and Americans, which are the Lord's chosen people, the Israelites. All right, Yasha Allah. Okay, or Israel. Okay, and because of course all of the wickedness that these these Edomites have done, there's a judgment, there's a price. Okay, there's a time in which is for that payback, that recompense. Okay, now going down and reading on, and it says, they shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries and the great abundance of thine enchantment. Right, which you have it that this place, all right, being spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah, all right, or spiritually Sodom and Egypt, Slakia, all right. This place, all right, being spiritually Assyria, all right, spiritually Nineveh, all right. This place, okay, being Babylon, all right, the virgin daughter or Babylon, all right. You have the leaders, all right, are nothing but high level witches and sorcerers, all right. They call them, they're likened onto the Chaldeans, all right. Which you go into the Chaldeans and such, back in Great Babylon, they were the Magi's, all right. These so-called, you call them wise men, all right. Right, you go into Chaldeans right here, Kasad Yama, all right, Kasad Yama, which it means here those persons considered the wisest in the land, all right. And like I said, they consider themselves to be what? Illuminated, okay. Light bearers of the light, okay. To be in the know, all right. And we could go into that, we could go into was it like Isaiah 14 and all of that, and various other scriptures, all right. But for the sake of time, it's about to be about 30 minutes. I'm just gonna go to Jeremiah. Okay, let me see what I got. This is Jeremiah. I'm gonna just get verse 10 and call it that's it. Because this whole chapter, these are Yapa, beautiful. It says in Chaldea, that being of course America, all right. That's where you damn Edomites are, all right. Which I just broke down, who the modern day Chaldeans are. Is you Edomites, elites, all right. Shall be a spoil, and all that spoil her shall be satisfied, said Yahweh. And what you gonna go into it? The people that's gonna, destroy you. All right, you're gonna have these various nations, such as Russia, okay, China, okay, North Korea, all right, assembly of hosts behind Russia, all right, because they're gonna be a guard to Iran, okay. Turkey, you're gonna have all of these different places. You're gonna have the over there in the EU and such. All right, you're gonna have them nations. They're gonna shoot and burn this place with fire. All right, but we're seeing your kingdom come down to its feet. All right, literally. As in, you have it where this is the last leg. And you read that in Daniel's 2. But this is it. All right, so I just wanted to hit a wee lesson. And hopefully you were edified, and just we just keep you updated as things get worse, all right, and worse and worse in this system, all right, being in America. Stay up and stay occupied within prophecy, all right, and continue to pray for Yahweh Shem Yahushai to have mercy upon you, all right. Shalom.